Lake Chad Basin was the sixth largest lake in the world in the 60s. Over 70 million people relied on it for living. Problem, however, arise as the lake shrink from its original size of 26,000 kilometers to less than 2,000 kilometers, making living a difficult task for people living in the Lake Chad region.
The problem that I see is the total negligence from the government axis. The government are not being proactive and they are not responsibly reactive.
In the early 70s, the Nigerian government established the South Chad Irrigation Project. The major irrigation project takes huge amount of water from the lake. Because of the global climatic change, the volume of water that comes to the lake is also affected significantly. That became a very serious issue of the lake because the rate of recharge was actually not equal to the rate of drainage. If the amount of rainfall that comes into the lake is sufficient like it used to be, then probably we will not be talking about the problem we're having today.
As the water depletes and jobs become acronym tags for people, anger, fear, and hunger evolves with unorganized institution coming to life. One of them is Boko Haram.
Boko Haram, Boko Haram,
Boko Haram.
Most of these communities which housed more than 5,000 people had to move to the cities. And the only major city was Maiduguri, the state capital. That's 1/3 of the population of Borno State are now resident in Maiduguri town. Most of the people who go there end up to find out that the jobs are not there, the dreams are not there, and the lifestyle and the hopes are dashed.
So, what else do you expect? You expect anger, you expect frustration. And of course, since the hand is already idle and the mind is a breeding ground, then they can take up arms against anybody. And they will do it with all passion.
They have nothing to do. The fishermen cannot fish anymore. The farmers cannot farm anymore.
Most of these people who come there seeking for job opportunities and do not find, turn to these Islamic clerics. For example, the erstwhile leader of Boko Haram, Yusuf Mohammed, had a welfare scheme. He provided interest-free loans to membership. And this was how they attract members to the group. Being a member of the group, benefiting from the financial scheme of the group, you are compelled to attend evening Islamic classes and scholarship. And this is where the indoctrination takes place.
In 2009, the Lake Chad region became bedridden in conflict, rendering all human activities in the region inactive, and the burden was carried not by the indigents alone, but by organizations rendering humanitarian activities in the region. To get an in-depth report on conflict in this region, I traveled to Borno State, where it all began, and took a concise look at the economic cost of conflict on international non-governmental organization in the Lake Chad region of Nigeria.
Good Samaritan, it's a non-governmental organization and it's non-profit-making organization. And the aim and objective is to see how to help, one, those that are affected by the insurgents, especially in the northern part of Nigeria, those that are affected irrespective of their religion, even though we are Christian, but we never limit our scope to Christians. It is for everybody, both the Christian and non-Christian, just to see how we can be of help, to also impact life. The Good Samaritan program, it has to do with giving out relief material in form of food, form of medicals and clothing. Having observed how people are being displaced and how they pass through pains In terms of person that has been working and feeding himself, he can no longer do that because of the insurgents. You know, someone that has been feeding his family and other things, but because of the insurgents, he could no longer do that.
I asked the regional coordinator if there's any record of human rights abuse in the region.
I think there was a case, this fateful day, all we could hear is the sound of bomb. And at the end of the day, it was like a joke. Itself was brought down to ashes, where we lost millions of nairas, cash.
Workers from foreign non-governmental organizations also lost their lives.
At that moment, don't forget you're asking now that where rights are being trampled. This is you have the right as a Nigerian to live anywhere in Nigeria and to move from one place to another. Right to freedom of religion. But at that moment, such rights have been taken away from people, and as a result, nothing could happen. For a several years, everybody were displaced. You can no longer go to school, you can no longer go to work, so you will be forced to start something wherever you find yourself, even though it is farming, just to sustain yourself. You know, for that period of time, it was very difficult for many families. Along the line, I can still remember, we lost one woman that she has kids, she has husband. Up to today, we cannot ascertain is she dead or is she alive.
In the Taki and Moki route that leads to Konduga, I traveled to speak with people who have been affected with the conflict in the Lake Chad region. While in Konduga, I asked Salisu Abubakar if he can recall any time they have been working in conjunction with international non-governmental organizations and if they have received any help from them.
We
are seeing seed. One organization they call Rescue also came to. And up to now, they still give little of what they can do, little support of what they can render to our children. Whenever our children are sick, we call them, they come around. He lamented that before the insurgency and conflict in the Lake Chad region, it says bountifully, but now when the insurgency and conflicts still in high rates in the Lake Chad region, it is difficult to sell 3 bags of rice due to the economic situation of the country and the safety of people within its locality. But what is paining us now? Is majority of us who are into farming are in the suburb village and now at the IDP camp in Konduga. Aside that, farming now has become a very difficult task for us to do. If you move 3 kilometers, it is either you get killed or you get kidnapped and they ask you for ransom. And even when you pay ransom, you are not sure if you are going to be released. We have proceeded many times from entering our village. They once came and they didn't find anyone in the community. There was a time we had to move our families to Maiduguri. For we Hausas that are here in Konduga, what we do is just farming. We're into rice. There's river in Konduga where we fish and we also use for irrigation. Although we are expecting peace to fully return in Konduga, why we are outside is because sitting down will not help. If you did not come out to struggle, who is going to give you food to eat? Most especially when you have family to feed. In Bama and Baga, I spoke with fishermen. They spoke extensively concerning their fishing activities. All what we do is by ourselves. We fend for ourselves. We struggle for ourselves. Whatever we use in fishing are implements we bought on our own. No support from any government or any non-governmental organization in carrying out our occupation. We did not receive any support at all. There are various rivers that we used to go before conflicts started in this area. But now, we can't go any further. Within 3 to 5 kilometers is dangerous in fishing here, because we have recorded fishermen going further beyond this point. They get kidnapped and they get killed. 3 to 5 people of our fishermen have been killed since we returned here. And for people who manage to get home, they receive a stern warning from Boko Haram never to return for fishing in the river. These are some of the difficulties we face as fishermen. It is not only applicable in Bagai alone. In other neighboring villages, it's still the same. In Konduga, in Bama, every other areas that are known for fishing in Borno are still within the ambit of insecurity. We don't have any occupation that we do. It is just fishing. But when this water gets to the brim, we are able to fish. We still hope that when rain falls, we will have enough water for us to fish in. We still expect more support from the government or any international non-governmental organization to help us through this difficult time. We are facing a lot of challenges here. Boko Haram still give us stress in fishing in our own river. We hope with time, peace and tranquility will return. We don't have anywhere else to go. This is what we know. This is what has been our occupation. This is our land. As long as we are still alive, we will keep on struggling to make ends meet.
Well, in Nigeria, we are coming to non expectations. But there are so many damages, so many things have gone wrong that we cannot quantify it. Some quantify it, but the losses are huge, huge beyond imagination. Just as I said earlier, Bama, Baga, Gambarugala. Gambarugala is the largest cereal market in the whole of Africa. Baga, the largest fish market in Africa. Bama, the largest livestock market in Africa. So those things not being there, people from Cameroon, Niger, Chad, even parts of Libya to come and do business there. So all those things get closed down. So without being told.
So if we are brothers keeper at the local level, let's say from community level, not even community, from family level down to community, from community to area, from area to local government, from local government to states, from state to federal, honestly speaking, everybody will live in peace.
Despite profound evidence against Nigeria's security for human rights abuse, nothing has been done. Thousands are still being affected. Homes are still being destroyed. Farmland has become inaccessible, making it difficult to earn a living in the Lake Chad region of Borno State.
Used to be a place where students of this assemble. But 30 years after, all we can see are just the pains, the sorrows, and anguish conflicts in the Lake Chad region has brought to the people of Borno State. This secondary school used to be a pride for the people of Konduga. Despite the support from international non-governmental organizations, there's little hope for this school to come back to life.